opening quotation. Time starts now. Greatness itself. What an interesting phrase that is. It comes with a lot of different interpretations depending on who's hearing it. Maybe greatness means having lots of money or having a high status, or maybe it just means living a quiet life and something that makes you happy. But regardless, everyone, in some sense, wants to be great. I'm sure you do. After all, you're competing. You're trying to be number one here. That brings us to today's quotation. Anybody knows when to stop, but very few get to the top. Very few are going to reach that first place. This is a quotation from Annie Lorak, a Ukrainian pop singer. Now, the thing about this quotation, is when you say everybody knows when to stop, that's not exactly true, is it? Sometimes we can go a little bit too hard, and we can tire ourselves out. So today we're going to take a look at what does it mean to really get to the top, and how do we do that? But also, we're going to look at the importance of stopping and slowing down and knowing when to stop, because we don't all know when to stop. Now, the first thing we'll talk about is getting to the top. Now, we all want to go very fast in life, at least us high achievers who are involved in things like speech and debate. And it is that kind of involvement that is exactly how we go so fast. I, for one, am involved in speech and debate, but also an engineering networking club and several engineering projects. I want to keep on going and be involved in so many of these things because these are going to set me up for so much success, so much greatness. But now here's the thing. When we compete, being at the top is one single moment, right? We stand up at that ceremony and it's announced that we won first place, and that is one singular moment. But life isn't really like that. Life is not some giant blaze or a series of one or two fireworks every so often. No, life is an accumulation of just small little embers that amount to something great. Take, for example, health in general, right? Going on one marathon, running one individual marathon is not going to turn you into the pinnacle of health. It may for about 3 seconds, but for your entire life, your health is made up of individual decisions to eat nutritious food and to do helpful exercise. Just like this, getting to the top is not one singular moment, even though we often think that it is. And getting to the top is something that's very attractive to us, isn't it? But that attraction can be our downfall, can't it? Think of this idea of knowing when to stop. If you don't know when to stop, you're going to keep going. And not everyone can run a marathon, for the sake of the example that we recently used. Not everyone can just snap their fingers and start going on a marathon for this 26-point-something miles. I know I certainly could not. For this reason, if we're going to let ourselves accumulate to something great, we need to slow down a bit. Take, for example, the tortoise and the hare. The hare sprints for the majority of the race, and then he takes a break. He stops because either he gets cocky or he becomes tired, or however you want to interpret the story, but the tortoise is going slowly and steadily. And he does win the race, versus the hare that just keeps on going and keeps on having all this involvement in what he's doing. The tortoise slows down, and he notices the little things in life. That brings us to our second example. When you slow down, you take a walk on this marathon that you're running, what are you more likely to do? You're less likely to notice your heart beating so intensely in you. You're less likely to notice your muscles tiring out as lactic acid builds up. And you're more likely to notice all these beautiful trees around you. Things you wouldn't notice if you're going for giving your all. You're noticing the beautiful things that are around you, the small little embers that are going to ultimately make you happier. So in conclusion, many of us do not know when to stop. And very few of us may get to the top, and being at the top is something we very much want to do. But being at the top is not one singular moment, it's an accumulation of lots of moments. But if we want to achieve that thing, we gotta slow down a little bit, because that will make us happier overall.